Despite shaky videos and strange network television shows that claim they've seen them, no one has really ever come forward saying that they have officially, positively seen the Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, a unicorn, a leprechaun. You know why? Because those things are myths. They don't really exist. Like in the rest of the world, the cleaning world has its own dragons and unicorns and leprechauns too. There are lots of cleaning myths out there. There's no real proof behind them. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through some of those cleaning myths and we're gonna debunk them together. People are concerned that if they do their laundry in cold water, their clothes aren't going to get as clean as they need to be, and that bacteria will still linger in their clothing at the end of the load. So I have two thoughts on that. First of all, if you're using hot water to wash your clothes, it's costing you more money, and heat can actually set stains. When you think about why people want to use hot water when they're doing laundry, well, it's because in the old days with old machines and old powdered detergent, you actually did need hot water. The hot water mixed with the detergent, it melted it down so that it was indeed a usable product. But with the advent of laundry detergent technology, we now have liquid detergent, which means it's already dissolved for you. The work has already been done. So when you put your clothing in, whether you're using hot water or cold water, your clothes are still getting cleaned. Now, if you say are someone who's concerned about bacteria being in your clothes, let's say you were somewhere like a farm and you were really concerned about bacteria being left behind on your garments, washing them in hot water on the hottest cycle possible, your machine is never gonna get hot enough to kill that bacteria unless your machine has a steam cycle or some sort of sanitizing cycle, in which case it will get rid of them. But use that sparingly and be mindful of when you use it, because heat, as I said, can set stains and it is also more expensive. Now this one's kind of funny, but it's also kind of true, and I do want to bring it up, albeit just a quick point. If you think that leaving your car out in the rain is going to get it clean, you're mistaken. Just think about yourself. If you go in the shower and you don't use any soap or shampoo, you will emerge wet, but that's about all. You're not actually going to be clean. The same goes for your car. Recently, a bird had a choice spot to take a poop on Chad's car. It was the driver door handle. And as soon as that happened, we went outside with a paper towel and some cleaning product, and we gave it a good clean and then took it to the car wash to get it cleaned properly. We wanted soap and product and all the pressure washers to go and do its thing on that door handle. Among many other things with cars, when they get dirty and rain hits them, it's not necessarily that they look cleaner or shinier, the dirt's sort of been moved around. Oftentimes when I'm reading comments or just tuning into your conversations online about cleaning, something I see come up quite a bit is this need, concern, or feeling that disinfecting surfaces means that they're clean. That is not the case, that is not the truth, and that's not something that you need to concern yourself with. If there happens to be a surface where harmful bacteria is present on that surface that you wish to eliminate, at that point, you want to disinfect the surface. However, in your general day-to-day cleaning, washing your hands, cleaning surfaces, disinfecting doesn't need to be and shouldn't be part of your regular cleaning routine. Our bodies need bacteria to thrive and to build up that resistance toward other bacteria in the world. So that good bacteria and that general bacteria actually helps to keep us and our families stronger. So if you're constantly using antibacterial products, you're taking your body's ability to build up immunity and fight that bacteria away. So unless there is a good reason for you to get rid of bacteria on a surface, just using something like an all-purpose cleaner, soap and water, is good enough. This one surprised me a little bit because I've always been squeamish around OPTS, other people's toilet seats. But according to a study that was done by the NSF, toilet seats aren't nearly as scary as some other things in the home. This study looked for different bacterial organisms on various surfaces throughout a home. They swabbed 30 surfaces in various homes to get average bacterial organism counts. The bacteria they were looking for: staph, E. coli, coliform, and mold and yeast. So the toilet seat came in at number 11 with 266 as the final count. The number one item that was dirty and filthy and bacteria laden in a home was a sponge, a kitchen sponge that clocked in at over 321 million found organisms on the size of surface that they were swabbing. It was disgusting to read that fact. So now, anytime you pick up a sponge, just remember it is way dirtier than a toilet seat will ever be. I used to think that anytime I recycled an item, I was doing a good deed. That was my good turn for the day for the world. The truth is, it just doesn't work that way. Recycling, just because you're putting an item in a recycling bin, it really doesn't mean that you're keeping that item out of a landfill. And frankly, there is such an overage of recyclable materials at this point, we don't actually have uses for them anymore. So in fact, a lot of recyclable materials now are ending up in landfills. That's why so many companies are working on alternative solutions, whether it's premium reusable packaging. You can Google the circular economy if you're interested in learning more about that, or reducing, refusing, reusing before recycling. That's another thing we talk about a lot here too, because soon enough, we're just gonna be told that we can't recycle things anymore. There's no more room for it. So remember, when you recycle, obviously be responsible, but the even better thing that you can do for the environment is find ways to reduce your use of single-use and recyclable materials in the first place. I'd also love to know in the comments down below, are you interested in seeing a video that kind of goes into this recycling thing a little bit, kind of shows you behind the scenes of the recycling world and what it actually all means? Because I kind of feel like it's this big behind the scenes situation that we all hear about, but we don't really know about. And I happen to have a few contacts in the recycling world that I'd be very willing to talk to create a very in-depth and interesting piece for you. So let me know in the comments. For those of you who are concerned about scents or fragrance in products, I understand. You might have an allergic reaction, you might get migraines or some other sort of uncomfortable reaction, or you just might not like fragrance. But when you see the term fragrance-free and unscented, I need you to know that those two are not interchangeable. They don't mean the same thing. Unscented means that a product has had fragrance to mask the smell of the base ingredients in a product. So even though when you open it, you might not smell anything, keep in mind that the company has used neutralizers to eliminate any smell whatsoever. A product that is fragrance-free has indeed nothing to cover up the smell. So when you open the product and you smell something, those are the base ingredients that you're smelling. But just know they haven't added anything, neither to mask nor to scent the product. If you haven't seen an actual feather duster being used for cleaning, that's because the last time it was really important was in Beauty and the Beast. Aside from that, feather dusters really aren't the most effective way to clean. Now, when I started my cleaning service, Clean My Space, back in 2006, and I did my initial research, this was before I learned about microfiber cloths, feather dusters were still a thing. So I went to the cleaning store, the janitorial supply shop, and I bought a professional ostrich feather duster. It legit looked like the character from Beauty and the Beast. It also looked like a naughty Halloween costume accessory, but that's for a whole other time and place. And I started to clean with it. While it was attractive for dust, the other thing that I noticed about using it is that its action of sort of swirling and dusting helped to kick dust up into the air, which meant for me, the cleaning person, more work down the line because all of that dust was eventually going to settle and I would have either had to redust that surface or clean the floor. Whereas using something more contemporary like microfiber traps the dust, locks it in so that it can't go anywhere else aside from in the washing machine when it's time to clean it. So anytime you hear somebody talk about using a feather duster, you gotta put that in the past with your video cassettes of Beauty and the Beast and other Disney videos that you loved, and you need to pull out something more contemporary and effective like a microfiber cloth. I think it's really important that we here at Clean My Space help you stay current and on top of the latest information and trends about cleaning. That's why we work so hard to research and get this information out there for you. And that brings me to this week's comment question. We talked about laundry, we talked about hot water and cold water. So I'd love to know, are you still of the mind where you want to use hot water for all the laundry, or have you made the shift and you use cold water? What are your arguments for or against? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.